5555, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through March 30th, enjoy USDA Choice whole beef short loin for $9.99 per pound, cut and wrapped for free. Plus, a 3-day sale from Thursday through Saturday of USDA Choice 8-ounce New York strip steaks, just $7.88 each. Northern Fisheries salmon portions $9.99 per 2-pound box, and a handle of Tito's handmade vodka, just $28.99. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus. Garage doors and more.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-Week Challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off your enrollment. The next 10-week challenge begins on April 12th. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
When your home fills up with family, Aloe Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Aloe Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
Join Jay Foreman, Eric Strickland, and Austin Norman this Thursday, March 27th at the brand new Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane as we celebrate MLB opening day and the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. That's Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m. at Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, happy hump day. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We're the Old School crew, brought to you the new school way. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients at Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andreamat, and 168th and Maple up there in the O. I did see something, was it Casa Bovina?
Mm-hmm.
They got a big old cheese. Like, I can't eat cheese, but that cheese did look good.
Can't? Or choose not to?
Both. I'm
Dang.
lactose. I'll blow the top off of this place. I just... Then I'd be out of commission. Out of commission. So if you guys are stopping over at Casa Bovina, that cheese, the big old like circle of cheese, it looks pretty good. So I did see that today.
So you're telling me you're not going to be one of those people in England that's like running down the hill after that wheel of cheese?
Mm-mm. You can have it. We can start the race, but I ain't finishing. Yeah, man, that's unfortunate, but oh well. But what's fortunate though, the New York Giants have they have quarterbacks. They signed Jameis. Or he got rid of Daniel Jones. And a coach is on the hot seat, so you have to sign veterans. There's no way you can draft first of all, here's what I really think happened. And this is actually probably a good move. And I don't know who Cam Ward and I'm assuming Shador. I don't know if they have the same agent, because sometimes like Tom Condon used to represent all the quarterbacks and stuff, or whoever their agents are. I can almost if they have really good agents. Now you don't ever want to tell a team not to draft you, especially that high, but you can strongly encourage them not to draft you. And it's not because of the organization. When Eli, I think, didn't want to go to San Diego, is based on the organization, how it was run. This is a situational decision if I was an agent and a player. Now, I think they feel comfortable that teams will trade up to those slots and draft them high because they clearly the top two quarterbacks. And you can throw Jackson Dart in there and the dude from Louisville and all that.
I'm not buying that.
The
That
dude
just
from
strikes
Louisville?
either one of them. I'm not saying that they don't have
I like
success, but right now it just feels like
forced.
the agent sent someone a message.
It's forced.
Yeah.
And I like Jackson Dart. I don't like him up where they're trying to say like he's number 2. No, he's not. But I like him. If you want to get him late in the first round, I think he could be something. I do like him, and he's got a lot more toughness than what.
Well, moxie.
Yeah, he does, because remember he got knocked out early in the Georgia game, came back and did his thing. So that kind of showed me a lot. But for Brian Dable and the GM, they're on the hot seat. That's coming from via the owner. So if you're an agent and or a quarterback, and one of the questions I would have, and this is probably what you should be, what I would advise them to be asking if they're at the combine, why, you got to look out for your career, right? Now, you don't ever turn down, you're not going to not show up, but an agent does. If you're a good agent and you got those two dudes, you don't want to go there in that situation, because it's just like the Chicago Bears. You draft Mitchell Trubisky, ton of turnover at offensive coordinator and head coach. Now you're not good enough. Justin Fields, the same thing. Now they got some continuity, and probably not continuity because now Caleb Williams has a new coach, but they seem like you got an offensive-minded coach and you got some people to be there. So if you're the top two quarterbacks, that's not where you want to go. So then, therefore, they have to take a pivot, because they probably would like a quarterback. Because normally, Austin, a GM and a head coach draft a rookie quarterback, that gives you an extra year.
Yeah,
right. They don't have anymore.
No.
Because they already paid Daniel Jones and they're pointing the finger at the GM and the head coach. So now, in the free agency, late in the free agency, you signed Jameis as kind of a stopgap, and that lets you know it was still an option maybe to jump up and draft a quarterback. Well, then they went total pivot and went and got Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson, just like he did last year with Pittsburgh, he's not going anywhere. That he's pretty much not penciled in or somewhat pinned in as the starter. Jameis is a capable backup. DeVito is going to have to try to be the third team quarterback, and so that's how he ends up in New York. Even though it's probably not an ideal situation for either party, they're going to try to make it work. And if I'm Brian Dable, I'm going with the former Super Bowl champion, guy that was somewhat productive last year. Malik Neighbors should like it, be able to get deep. So he's more of a viable option in the New York versus a rookie.
Giants picking at number 3. Do you think that signing Russ and Jameis gives them the thought of moving back in the draft and adding more capital, or do you think that they're going to stay put at number 3 and take best available?
I think they can do either. You can look at it like, okay, say it goes Abdul Carter, Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, then you could get Travis Hunter. Or so let's say it goes Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, you can get obviously not a quarterback. You can get somebody else that you think, or trade back and get a couple picks in the first round.
Could you still take a quarterback and then trade either Russ or Jameis?
No.
That's a pretty decent asset, though. Someone's quarterback goes down, you can dangle one of those two guys.
No. If they wanted Russ, and Jameis probably had more, his phone was ringing a lot more than Russ, just based on what he he's a really good backup, can give you. He's kind of like he's the brother version of Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's gonna give you three really good games, and he's gonna have that game where he had like 5-6 interceptions.
Yeah, fair.
But throw for a lot of yards. He's a great locker room guy. I hate it for Jameis because he went to Tampa when they weren't Trump tight as an organization. He couldn't see. I didn't even know that he
needed LASIK.
Yeah, and so I don't think they're gonna draft. I think they're going to try to draft the best available if they don't get somebody that just gives them their asking price quarterback. Now, what will drive up that asking price is one of the quarterbacks goes, or like 1 or 2, or you know what I mean? Or a team that wanted a quarterback or really wants Travis Hunter, that really, or somebody like that, or Abdul Carter, or some, wants to get to that number 3. But most likely a team that needs a quarterback is going to go at 3 because they're figuring that Abdul Carter is going 1 or 2. That's the way it's always kind of been. And then Travis Hunter, you could see going, maybe as low as 4 or 5 based on, who's picking.
Tennessee did request that private workout with Cam Ward. You think it's legit? You think it's a smokescreen?
I think it's a smokescreen. I think he would be great. I think Shador would be great there. I mean, right now, man.
So Tennessee then must think they have someone, they have good intel on someone that really wants Cam Ward.
They do all types of stuff. They waste a lot of time playing
mind games.
Yeah.
Scouting.
It's like, no, they do enough scouting, but they're trying to, they'll have the perception that they're going to draft Austin Orman, but the whole time that they're going to draft Jay Foreman. And that's either to drive the price up or just in case they, just somebody picks me earlier. So, but they're number 1. They say they're going to take best available, and it's always funny. The guys that they say that's going number 1 early in the process never goes, because it was Abdul Carter.
Well, I mean, there's a very rare case, right? Like a Trevor Lawrence or an Andrew Luck. Other than that.
Right. And especially with a defensive player, Abdul Carter, and 2 quarterbacks.
Even Myles Garrett wasn't there.
Right. And so, I don't know. It's just whoever falls in love with you and talks themselves into or out of drafting you. But I think Cam Ward's a franchise quarterback. I think he's going to be a typical rookie, a lot of excitement and all that. And I think he's going to have probably some maybe more downs just because of he's a gambler. I mean, he pushing the ball downfield. I mean, under it's 3rd and 2. I don't need to check down. I want touchdown. That doesn't work in the league. But he's very athletic. He loves football. I think he has good leadership skills. But I think if you need a guy in the Giants position or somebody like that to step right in and potentially get you pro ready, I think it's Shador.
You get to start a franchise with either Cam Ward or Anthony Richardson. Where are you going, GMJ Foreman?
I'm going Cam Ward. It's not even close. See, I felt like Anthony Richardson was more potential versus production. I think Cam Ward has done it at Washington State. It was again Incarnate Word, Washington State, Miami. He's done it everywhere he's been, whether it's with little assets as far as in the skill positions. Washington State probably a little bit more, and even Miami's skill position guys out on the outside aren't, up to normal. You're the normal guys that come out, and he's been very productive.
Yes,
and so I think Cam Ward does it. I think he's pretty. I know that there's some immaturity issues off the field that kind of people are kind of like looking into, but I don't think they're a detriment to where he can't lead a franchise.
Normal college kid stuff, not
right. You'd like a little bit more of some stuff, and then I think it's
a little more buttoned up out of your
of his crew and all that, and that's just hopefully a conversation that whoever can get his ear and maybe to his agent that you got to really, really, look at. And maybe that's the reason why the Giants have moved out of there, because maybe they think Cam Ward is the number 1 quarterback. And then they said, you know what, some of the intel, because I can guarantee you, they've been watching him for over a year.
Yeah, this doesn't just start draft eligible yet.
Right. And then they're is guilty by association who you hang out with, so they're formulating opinions. So the Giants stuff is interesting. The whole quarterback offseason has been interesting. Like Sam Darnold going to Seattle, and he's a franchise quarterback. You could have just kept Geno.
Yeah.
You just could have kept Geno. Now, but you already but you bring in Sam Darnold, and you give away your best receiver. Now you got Njigba Smith or Smith and Jigba, but man, it's interesting. Then you got Aaron out there being called to the carpet by Cam Hayward like every single time he's on his podcast.
Yeah.
He said, listen, you need to make a decision sooner or later. If you come in here, you better be about winning. So what he's letting him know, you're not coming in this locker room and running things. I am the boss of this locker room, rightfully so. This is how we do things here. You can be a part of it, but you have to make sure you want to be a part of it. And maybe that's what's really, got him out there and contemplate what he wants to do because there's nowhere else he can go. The Vikings have kind of shied away from it. They probably want him at a little bit lower price tag. I think if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm hightailing. I'm talking to Mike Tomlin right now. I'm trying to go to Pittsburgh.
Okay, that was my question then. If you're looking at this from the outside in, is Aaron Rodgers more likely to take an offer that he doesn't agree with to keep playing football, or would Aaron Rodgers be the type of guy that says, "Nope, didn't get what I wanted"? Vacation.
I could see him. I don't think he's gonna go somewhere and be somewhere that he doesn't want to. I think he's gonna. If he goes to Pittsburgh, I think he's gonna be going in there 80-85% with his mind right, and 15% is just gonna be him getting acclimated. I could also see him taking a year off doing his thing and then getting picked up somewhere else next year, or just walking away. And that might be more appealing to him because I don't know if he would make dollar for dollar what he's going to get if a contract in football wise.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure if he started doing his media stuff, he would be getting paid pretty good. And then that would also give him all the attention too. Why aren't you playing? Your last 6 games you played good. We really want, you should be playing, and all that. He'd get his fill there, and and got to get hit.
Getting hits with
I don't understand. I don't understand what takes a guy like that long to make a decision.
Well, I do is the thing, because if Aaron Rodgers wants to play, he should have a list of teams in mind going in with his agent, right? I want to talk to team X, team Y, and team Z.
Mm-hmm.
But Jay, I do think teams are smarter now, right? I think 10 years ago, 15 years ago, certainly 20, teams would have said, there's a big name quarterback available. We got to go get him with less regard for what he is compared to what he was. We can get the best out of him again. I think front offices are a lot smarter now. And I think Aaron Rodgers is negotiating either like he's 5 years younger or the league is 5-10 years younger, right? Because at this point, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers gets the contract he wants because he doesn't deserve it anymore based on his play on the field.
Yeah.
He's decent. He's fine. But across sports, fewer and fewer teams are paying for what you did. More and more teams are paying for who you are or for what you're going to be, outside of course, rookie scale where they're obligated to pay the scale. But I just don't think Aaron Rodgers can be as picky as he wants to be anymore. And I don't know if that's set in on him yet.
Yeah, I know. It's tough because, he's a Hall of Fame player, no doubt about it. The situation in New York wasn't ideal. He was a big part of it, when you question the owner's son and all that stuff and, blah, blah, blah. And, it wasn't. And he wasn't involved in the offseason. But for me, I don't think it should be if you want to, I'm assuming he wants to play football. Like, if you're still contemplating whether you want to play football, don't go on the visit to Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be, just say, what, I don't even know if I want to play. Just take me off your list and I have to get in where I fit in if I, change my mind.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, he's not going to go to I didn't think the Giants was ever a viable option because the Giants aren't in the position to win.
Mm.
Right?
No. So in the NFC East, a little topsy-turvy as a division, but so every team in there is better.
Minnesota might have been the best option, but that didn't even get to him getting on the plane and going there.
Right, but they were less sold on him than he was on them.
Okay, so that just didn't work out, right? But Pittsburgh obviously likes him enough to get there, maybe to check his temperature or whatever, but once you get there, then it's also him and Mike Tomlin have respect for each other. That's the best place for you to win.
When you have no other visits lined up, so why not just say, "Yeah, I'm in"?
Yeah, or see what, and you're not going to play for him probably $5 million. They're gonna, they got to pay him. Heck, Russell's off the books, and same with Justin Fields. So you got to figure out what, what's reasonable that you can, do because you still want to have money to, so you can, 1 year deal with an option or whatever. Maybe he's taking a couple days, to think about it. You got to think Russell Wilson went on a visit and took some time. I just would think with him, he's the best option out there for Pittsburgh, considering the assets that they have in the skill position. With Metcalf, Pickens, Fairmount, and then hopefully you think their offensive line improves, a legit defense. They need a guy that can actually play. And I'm sure that they could, work an offensive system to where he could, have some sort of control.
So if Pittsburgh doesn't get Aaron Rodgers, Cubscore is asking this, is Pittsburgh a team
I don't know
that was gonna be my question, right? Because
done.
they're not a team that wants to trade up, right? They're a draft capital, draft and develop sort of team. I don't know if there's a rookie quarterback ready to step in and win now. I don't see a Jaden Daniels in this draft. I don't see an Andrew Luck in this draft.
Yeah,
so
Pittsburgh does not. I can't. You know, the best thing that could happen for Pittsburgh is somebody be dumb enough to pick. You guys got a shout out right there. That want to trade for Pickens. And they'd be able to move up, but they don't have enough draft capital, and they've never been to jump up to get like Pittsburgh. If they're really trying to make noise, they need like a Cam Ward, kind of like when Ben Roethlisberger came in as a rookie, enough passing, but can really get you off schedule. And then obviously can throw deep to Metcalf and whoever. I guess Shador could do it as well. I think that would be a great fit, and all that stuff. But if they're trying to win now with obviously Mike Tomlin, I wouldn't say on the hot seat, but kind of people questioning his non-losing, doesn't have a losing season, getting into playoffs but not being very competitive. And if you like the big thing is if you're in a position like Pittsburgh or the Giants, somewhat the Jets, because Aaron Glenn is going to, if it doesn't work out with Justin Fields, they're going to be in the market. And those type of teams, you're looking at next year's quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And if you like those as much or a little bit better, then you can get a veteran. But, Aaron Rodgers got to make a decision. But I think he likes this deal. I mean, I guess I look at it like this. Their offseason, anymore offseason or Austin isn't that hard. So you're not obligated to be there. Like for me, even, when I was, a little bit higher or, a little bit older in my career, you always felt like you need to be around and because it was not mandatory, but mandatory. Whereas like you're a veteran quarterback, like he's not participating in the offseason program. He's not lifting weights there. He's there for the mini camps and maybe a couple of days, after and before to create some continuity. And then they'll go throw somewhere, probably, I think he lives in California or whatever. Who knows what he's thinking?
Your top 10 potential quarterbacks in the 2026 NFL draft. Not all these are confirmed, obviously, just potential. Arch Manning, Nico Iamaleava, Drew Aller, Lenora Sellers, Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, Sam Levitt, Jackson Arnold, Miller Moss, Carson Beck.
Levitt, Nussmeier, distant second, Beck. All the other guys are right in there. And then, but you know what? There's going to be two guys that are not even on that list. They're going to rise up.
Connor Wegman, Haynes King.
I mean, Wegman's okay. He's a Texas A&M, right?
Yeah. Noah Fafita.
Yeah. No.
Avery Johnson.
No.
Ty Simpson at Bama.
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to scroll through the list here. Blake Shapen at Mississippi State. Preston Stone. Tyler Van Dyke coming off of injury. Caden Salter. Colorado from Liberty.
Yeah, I don't know if they get it up to like first or second round, but you got some guys like Nico. He's definitely going to be appealing just because of being 6'6", live arm, can run. Just a unique, specimen of a quarterback. So if you like those options or think those options are as good, then you can hold pat and try to do the veteran thing like the Giants. Also, with the ownership putting you on hot seat, if he brings in, if you guys don't win, Russ is gone. Jameis probably is gone. The head coach and the GM is gone. So the new head coach and GM are going to pick their new coach or new quarterback anyways, or free agents new quarterback anyways. But Pittsburgh seems like a good spot for Aaron.
What's the holdup, man? Come on. Get to it. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I just think with him, he just wouldn't want to go out like that. I think he can always get into media. I think he can go on whatever Pat Mack, do that thing, and he can probably.
But if you want to play football, make your decision. If you don't want to play football, why would a team be?
Why wouldn't I would ask him why wouldn't you want to play for Pittsburgh? Money not being a deterrent.
You got plenty, dude.
I assume Pittsburgh's not going to disrespect you with an offer, and you had some sort of idea based on their salary cap situation and what your agent has talked to with their GM. I'm assuming. Why wouldn't you want to? It's a storied franchise, a legit head coach, a legit defense, a great competitive division. You got a number one receiver, a legit number one receiver, a big body receiver out there. You got to, you could really, really, do some damage.
And if you play well, that's image rehab. I don't think Aaron Rodgers cares about his image that much, but someone around him does. Like, if Aaron Rodgers plays decently for Pittsburgh, that is a huge boost to how the general population thinks about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I think. I mean, why wouldn't you care? Like, I'm sure he cares. I mean, he doesn't probably care what the media think, but I'm sure he cares what the people that he went, to battle with and against. Because that's who you really long for. So, and there is some stuff that he probably needs to, that he probably thinks he can handle a little bit better than he did in New York. I just wouldn't want to go out. I just wouldn't want to go.
Not like last year.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
At all. But maybe.
But the flip side is it could be worse.
I think it's only worse if he's not truly invested. And maybe that's what he's working through. Can he get there? And it is harder once you get, playing. I mean, he's been playing a long time.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't play for the majority of his, first quarter of his, career.
40.
Yeah, but it's a long time. But there's a lot of guys that played in the league, would like an extra year or two, or would like that opportunity for another year or two or three. Not to tell him what to do with his body, but he should definitely, really, really consider it. He can always do it.
You can always retire, but can't always play.
Right. And you can't always go to a place like Pittsburgh. If you do well there, or if you do the things you need to do, no matter how the season turns out, your image is better.
Yeah.
That's what I would want. So we shall see. We're going to take a quick break, come back, Austin. We're going to talk about we'll talk a little bit of Nebraska Pro Day. I don't know, what the numbers were, but I will talk about what it's like to go through Pro Day, what's next for them, and, how it can be a little bit of downtime, but then also probably the most stressful time, leading up to the draft. So Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Whether it's neck pain, shoulder pain, or lower back pain, Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic's team specializes in treatments such as dry needling, cupping therapy, and traditional adjustments. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today, 402-484-5166. Visit them online at lincolnfamilychiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and 8th Street in Lincoln.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also sewered in Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Love is in the air, and so are big savings. It's the Big I Do event at Sartor Heyman Jewelers, South Point Pavilions, April 4th through the 6th. For 3 days only, enjoy 20% off all engagement rings and wedding bands, plus exclusive bridal collections from our top designers. Whether you're saying yes or I do, shop now for the year's best prices and selection. April 4th through 6th, Sartor Heyman Jewelers, South Point Pavilions.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-Week Challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off your enrollment. The next 10-week challenge begins on April 12th. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Back to old school on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, old school. Second segment here. I guess Combine and Pro Day. It's all the same, but Nebraska had their Pro Day yesterday. And so, I think they first of all, they got the four guys that went to the Combine really, I think, did their, they're good teammates and they went out and all performed well. And there's specifically the three that really, lit it up with Tommy, or not Tommy, but Ty Robinson, Thomas Fedoni, and then Isaiah Nair. They all tested out very well. Tommy Hill wasn't able to perform, but reason why I say they were good teammates, so then that attracted more eyes to Lincoln, which was yesterday, to see the whole team, the likes of, Gifford, Ben Scott, Bryce Benhart, MJ Sherman, Bullock for sure. Obviously, he's going to perform well. So forth and so on. And so the Pro Day is a little bit different, depending on if you went to the Combine or not. And then that's also dependent on how you performed at the Combine. And, like some guys that ran pretty well, there's no reason, to run another 40. Like for Ty, who was in the 90th percentile in the last 10 years, Fedoni as well. I think he might have been one of the fastest that ran at the Combine. Isaiah Nair too. What's the point? They already know he's big and fast. And so for those three, in particular, unless they wanted to improve on a short shuttle or something like that, they're just doing position stuff, running routes and the other guys are, D-line drills and all that. And I don't want to forget Nash as well. Well, for the guys that are participating in pro day that weren't able to go to the combine, it's a great time to, address some of the naysayers or some of the doubts, right? In particular, you look at like Nash, right? I think, when we saw him in the East-West and he was dropping into zone coverage and the zone blitz, a lot more athletic than the big wide dude that think that, people just by looking at him is only could play a zero technique, which is essentially right up over the center. Well, he's shown the ability to make plays on the move through the scheme that with Tony White the last 2 years. Definitely, very, he's accountable, he's durable, plays hard, and he's tough. He goes out and runs well, or went go out and run well yesterday. Now people are starting. Okay, look, yeah, he could play. Maybe a wide 2 or a tight 2 or maybe a tight 3. In a 4-man front. Definitely can play the the nose and all that because he's been showing you to be able to not only get pressures but get in the backfield as far as the pass rush goes. And so, a guy like Isaac Gifford and Bullock, you're showing that you got the athletic ability to play at the next level. Definitely want to be a dog or a lead dog on special teams even as a rookie. And then after that, you just start playing, and then you start making plays.
That's where I think Ramir Johnson is another one of those guys in that
Ramir
conversation.
Right.
Whereas like Jamal Banks, who did work out pro day, right?
Yeah.
He was there. I think he's an XFL guy.
Yeah, I think, but you just got to get in, and now they have more options. You got the XFL, I think a lot more of Canada and stuff like that. So you got more legit, options because you're getting, a lot of the guys, they're coaches that are in the XFL or UFL, whatever it's called. Those are pro coaches and the whole staff. It's not this back when the day and it was kind of a, I wouldn't say it was a joke, but it's definitely an extension down or up to the NFL. So, however you can get your career started, look at Adrian Martinez. Now he's on the, probably most likely, I think gonna maybe go back to the Jets or get another shot. So I think it's just, the more that you can do. It's just definitely a stressful time because if you go to the combine and don't run well, you got to pro day. Well, now if you didn't go to the combine, all you have is the pro day.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you had 2 pro days. Some schools have 2 pro days, but you only got 1, and so you got to perform. But I think, what they've done in the offseason prior and stuff like that gets them ready to compete. But it's definitely a unique time. And so I think Nebraska has probably better depth of guys that could, get shots, and it's up to them to. The situation is good to stick and then, extend their career than probably in years past. And so you got to give it credit to one. Those are guys that like Ty and Nash and those guys that, stayed through and developed and been here a little bit longer, but they made the most of it. And then also going and getting guys out of the portal that actually, works like Jamal Banks and those guys. And so, and I think with Ramir, for Ramir, I think his best days, if he gets in the right situation, are ahead of him. I think he's because it's kind of like, had the shoulder injury once and a couple other things, kind of like freak injuries. If he can, stay injury free, he does so many things, and he's a special teams guy. You could like, man, he really make a little career out of for it in the NFL.
Abdullah Light.
Yeah, a little light though. Yeah,
light.
Yeah,
light.
Yeah,
but
yeah, already kind of like where Amir is right now. Amir, obviously, I think was a 2nd-round pick. Started a couple times, and then moved into more of a situational player. But when he gets a chance to play, he balls out. But he's a leader on special teams.
And that's kind of what I'm getting at too, is that Ramir did a pretty good job of making most of his opportunities.
Right.
It's hard to get those opportunities. They were few and far between at Nebraska outside of that 1 year. But that's a guy that sounds like a lot of teams would love to have around, right? Good dude, good head on his shoulders, team player, willing to do everything. Like you're looking for those kind of guys. It's hard to stick when you're under the radar and kind of understated like Ramir is.
Yeah.
So I hope he gets a fair shot because maybe he's not the brightest, flashiest guy.
Right.
But I think his body of work and his references would speak for themselves.
Yeah, I think when you get into, even though they don't have 3 preseason games, and they don't play their starters or sometimes even second team guys, and he gets in and gets a ton of reps and gets an opportunity, he's going to turn some heads. Now, he's just got to stay healthy like everybody else, but in particular him. Based on they don't really have NFL isn't, they don't use running backs besides like Saquon and Derrick Henry really, really with a max load. So you want to make sure that you find your niche in there. And all you need is, for all these guys that didn't go to the combine is one coach, one GM that like you, boom.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go somewhere and then they got you on their list. And then you go from there. Or if you have to go to UFL or XFL and really, really hone your craft and get better down there, now you're on the NFL radar and you can go from there. So it's just, it's a unique time. But after the pro day is over, the underwear Olympics are just, it's now over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, you don't have to worry about running, jumping, and all that. Now you got to get ready for your first mini camp.
That's a different beast, right?
It is. Now you're doing all football stuff. And now,
not just underwear Olympic stuff.
Right.
But
You
stuff,
still want to, keep your speed right because you need it for football.
Mm-hmm.
But I doubt teams are going to be bringing you in and having you run 40s and all that other stuff because you just did it at your pro day. Now
they're going to have you run Oklahoma instead.
Yeah, they're going to have you do some all types of stuff. Like, I remember that dude from Cleveland, boy, he wore me and Chad. I can't speak for Chad. I know he wore me out. I didn't let him know.
Can you look in Chad's eyes and see that he was wore out?
We were broke off. we were broke off. We were broke off. And that's cool. That's and that's fine. And but like when you come in there, now I was blessed enough to be drafted, right? A late draft choice. One of my best friends that unfortunately passed away, Keon Carpenter, he was an undrafted free agent. You got to come in there, man, and you got to be a hellraiser. You can't back down. It's you don't know the playbook, you don't know what it takes. You got to make your way onto the team. You got to force your way onto the team, and you don't have the luxury of having a bad practice, picking up your phone and got 100 followers on Twitter from Nebraska fans telling you it's going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
You pick up your phone, you got to turn your playbook in if you're not handling your business. And so it's definitely a different step. Now, I do think the environment that they come from and holding them accountable helps them make that transition. But ultimately, you got to really go out there and perform, and you're going to have limited reps. I remember being in, they had rookie minicamp, and, you have a couple of free agents in there. So you had enough to kind of, get a ton of reps. Well, when the veterans came in, you might go from like 40 reps that are, like your first couple of days to 4.
Whew.
I'll never forget my first rep that I got in there. It was the last rep on the first day, which was the second practice at my veteran minicamp. So I'm getting in there. I'm all excited because wheels have been spinning. It was just a simple outside zone. Break the huddle. I know what I'm doing. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to run and be active. Man, that ball was snapped. Everybody's going to the right. I still was looking in the backfield. It was the funniest thing ever because I already was.
Your controller froze.
Yeah, man, and I was a rookie. My man, we have an equipment guy named Hojo. Man, he did me wrong though, man.
Nah.
Yeah, he did. But he hooked it up right.
Good.
So somehow, well, here's what happened. Sam Rogers. So they giving out shorts. Like for they give you like your little bag or whatever. I now know or found out later that Sam Rogers went and took my shorts.
What?
Because
they fit better.
Well, here's what happened. Like they were like the longer, baggier ones, And Sam was a veteran; he was a starter, so he went and took my shorts, right? Well, then now I had these they were like, and now I had the tights underneath, but they were like the mesh cotton ones that when you run they could. Hey man, that messed with me up anyways. I used to wear it with my socks pulled up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It just was. If you don't look right.
You don't feel right. You don't play right.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah. So I had to go. I went down to Target or something, got me some regular shorts. But yeah, that I do remember watching it, and I had these gray shorts on, and it was like, I remember Sam Cowart was like, "Dang," he's like, "Jay out here looking like MC Hammer with some biker shorts." He's like,
did Sam Rogers ever talk to you about it? Did you talk to him about it?
No.
Because you knew better.
Oh, I was a rookie. He was a veteran. He wouldn't have been saying anything, but I knew he had it because he ended up leaving a year or two later. And I remember the next year after I made the team kind of, from second year kind of established myself. Woody was the other guy in Hoge. I was like, listen, man. Listen, here, man, can I get some shorts? He's like, I gave you some last year. And then he's like, oh. He's like, Sam got you. And then that was it. So
he must have done it to someone else, too, before you.
Oh, yeah. They didn't really, like, I'll tell you, in Buffalo, they didn't haze. I mean, because, Wade wanted you to be a professional. They didn't haze us too bad. They do a little song. You had to sing and all this other stuff. But
what'd you sing?
I tried to sing the Nebraska fight song.
Nice.
I told you about how I cornered the market on that, right?
No.
So, like, you get in training camp, and well, first of all, I was definitely not scared, but didn't want to get up there and sing. And so before I left, Doak was still down in the stadium. So I didn't know what I was going to say. He's like, what are you going to sing? So you're worried about that. Mm-hmm. I ain't a singer, so, he kind of like, he must have found it, printed it off, for the,
mm-hmm.
I don't even know how I did it. I just knew the first, and I was like, all right, at least I have something to kind of study. Well, then once you get into training camp, that's when they when you had they would start with the spoon or something, start tapping on the glass, and you're in there, rookie, you got to get up. Well, what I did was I kind of, for whatever reason, I looked up at the clock and saw when they were starting doing it, and I was leaving the lunchroom. I'm like, oh, I got this. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to lift after practice because the veterans got first dibs on the lifting before practice and all that. So I'm going to kind of chill, stretch, do whatever I need to do. Then I'm going to lift, take me a shower if I got any kind of things, ailments or whatever. Then I'm going to eat late. They all gone. I got by, Austin. Training camp was 6 weeks. I think we were up there, St. John Fisher probably, or whatever we were at. 3.5, 4 weeks. Two preseason games, maybe even a third.
How about that?
I mean, I was like, oh, I'm getting through this whole camp, right? Because, the worst thing you can do as a rookie is just run your mouth. Eat, shut up, show up.
Like Big Renfro?
Yeah. Let your pads do your talking. One day, Big Daddy Pat Williams and Ted Washington in there. I'm like, what? I'm like,
what are you doing here?
What the hell are they doing in here? I know they ain't practiced because I was practicing. They ain't one in there.
I was just there, yeah.
Man, Pat Williams, he kind of stuttered when he started getting hyped. He's like, hey, Rook, hey, Foreman. Yeah, what's up? He's like, you sang yet? And I'm like, yeah. Ted Washington was like, don't you lie. Right?
And you're not telling Matt Washington.
Hit the thing up there. I had to get up there. And I think I was so bad. He was like, all right, get down. You got to
double market corner.
Because you got to say where you're from, what line, position, and if you had sign bonus or whatever, and then you got to do all that stuff.
So the double market corner was you waited 3.5, 4 weeks, and then you weren't good.
Oh,
so
no,
they got you.
I didn't want to be good.
Yeah.
But then they always mess with me, man, because I was slew-footed, man. Marcellus and all that. So it was all good though.
You made it.
Hey, I cornered the market. Those dudes was coming
business savvy.
They were hot coming in there, like with our doors. Man, I had to sing, bump that. I had to do it twice. I'm like, dang. They were like, you did it? I was like, yeah, man. I already got mine out of the way. Nope. Got me right before training camp. Yeah. You gotta be smart, man. You can't just, you gotta just move in silence. Real
G's lasagna, all that.
Yeah, man. So anyway, we'll take a quick break, come back, put a bow on this bad boy before we turn it over to Mr. Goodwin, man.
Malone Center.
Yeah, Malone Center coming in at 6. Jay Foreman and Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
On meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through April 1st is $1 off all pasta, $2 off spaghetti sauce, and special discounts on hamburgers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney and Lincoln, or also at 168th and Maple Streets in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through March 30th, enjoy USDA Choice whole beef short loin for $9.99 per pound, cut and wrapped for free. Plus, a 3-day sale from Thursday through Saturday of USDA Choice 8-ounce New York strip steaks, just $7.88 each. Northern Fisheries salmon portions, $9.99 per 2-pound box, and a handle of Tito's handmade vodka, just $28.99. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts. Pair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher, and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Hey, what are you talking about over there? Huh? I said, what are you talking about?
You know, Bill, I think it's time for both of us to get our hearing checked. We should head over to Christensen Hearing Analytics.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about them. They offer a free hearing consultation and screening, affordable hearing aid prices, and a knowledgeable staff with over 30 years of experience.
Visit Christensen Hearing Analytics today in Williamsburg Village or give them a call at 402-489-3450. Christensen Hearing Analytics. A better life starts with better hearing.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hey volleyballfans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
Back to old school on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, we're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. We'll keep it short and sweet. Happy hump day. Beautiful day outside. No wind. If you get a chance to go over to the Mercado, definitely you need to stock up. We're supposed to be having good weather this whole weekend. Definitely a drastic difference than last week, and which was actually on a Wednesday. So a week ago we had
literally 7 days.
Yeah, and for the people that have power washing businesses, you should be breaking bread right now. And so wishing everybody to have a good Wednesday. We're turning it over to the Malone Center, doing their thing. Make sure you listen to them, man. John is a good dude, man. definitely need to be on the lookout for what he's doing over there. And then obviously, hopefully, some things in the future. But for Austin Norman,
we're at Liquid Assets tomorrow.
Yeah,
3
Liquid
to 6,
Assets tomorrow.
27th and Jamie Lane.
Yeah, and we're gonna make sure Jake Sorensen is there all day too. Jake, you're gonna be right there with us. Come over and check it out, man. It's pretty cool. All the TVs, March Madness starting. Jay Foreman,
Opening
Austin Norman.
day.
Yeah. I hope the Cubs
Major
lose
League
again.
Baseball.
Yeah, we
It's
want
about
the Cubs.
time.
Yeah, we want the Cubs lose again. How you like that, Nick? Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, old school. We'll holler at you.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5